What is going on? Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're going through a back workout. We're going to include a little bit of biceps at the end. We're also going to be talking about clean bulking and why you may not be seeing progress on, let's just say, bulking. I'm not the biggest fan of the term clean bulking. My name is Brian DeCosta, head trainer at shreddedforlife.com. Here to get you shredded, keep you shredded. And if you haven't been tuning into the channel lately, what we're doing is uploading 3-4 times a week, addressing a question as we go through a workout. I kind of just have myself in a little corner somewhere, just blabbing, using a lot of words as we go through the workout. So if you like videos like this, perhaps consider subscribing and liking the video. That would help out a super bunch.
Wide angle's sick, man.
You're sick.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Comment questions as well. See, this is me getting back into the swing of YouTube. Comment questions on this video if you would like me to address it in next video. I may just pick your question.
Bowling sick. Say hi to the camera.
First clip of the workout. Always good to break the workout cherry.
You're gonna be rude, you're not gonna acknowledge.
Hello, guys with the rows. We want to bring it close to our hip crease. We want our elbow traveling up and back, keeping it close. We don't want to be super bunched up. I see a lot of people do rows, not necessarily with a barbell, but with dumbbell, very exaggerated like this. Now, that's a better way to contract, shorten the lat by doing that and mitigate, reduce bicep recruitment. But also, at least for me personally, and others I've talked to in the gym and clients, they don't really connect that well. They really don't feel it. They find it hard to feel that contraction. So while I don't want you just like rowing up here all bunched up, you can get a nice medium, non-exaggerated row where it's like you're just like throwing it back. You want to come to about your hip level, especially with a barbell. It's a nice cue. It's like I'm rowing, I'm bringing this to my hip crease right here, and then I'm going down diagonal at like whatever angle that would be, like 45 degrees or so. Hope that makes sense. From the last video, Giuseppe commented a question all the way from Italy. Yes, my mother's side. I'm half Italian, but I don't speak, unfortunately. I did study abroad in Italy in college, though. Hi, coach. I'm following your training and trying to get big on a clean bulk, following a high protein diet, but I'm not seeing much progress. While if I raise calories a bit more, it seems that I gain weight mostly from fat. Okay. Do you have any tips? Are you on a clean bulk for most of the year? Great question. I would love, and I like the way you worded this, it would be super helpful, and this is for anyone else who's in the future going to comment a question about yourself specifically. Please include how long you have trained, ideally your stats as well, height, weight, what your estimated body fat percentage would be. You don't have to know it exactly, but if you could ballpark it plus or minus 3 to 5%, that would be helpful as well. Especially your training age, the amount of time you've been training. Some great teamwork getting the plate on, you know, since there's no deadlift jack here and all. You know what they say about teamwork?
Makes the dream work.
Makes the dream fail, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. We're bodybuilders, so.
Definitely makes it easier.
What's up?
Makes it easier.
Yeah. So this, of course, could be many things, and understandably, I'll have to speak in kind of generalizations, right? Because I can't see you face to face. I can't ask a bunch of questions to get more context. Here's an overarching thing. So what you're referring to here, for those who may not be up on this term bulking, and specifically clean bulking, I would imagine you're referring to a slow building phase where you're trying as much as possible to mitigate, reduce fat gain as you gain strength, as you gain muscular size. This is a wise thing to do, in my opinion. I've spoken on in many prior videos throughout the years that the longer the better in a building phase, ideally. Bulking phase, whatever you want to call it. Let's just call it building. I'm not a big fan of bulking. I don't like the idea of bulking. Bulk. Just bulk. That term, bulk. I'm going to say build. It makes me feel more comfortable. So longer better. Ideally no shorter than 6 months. Because anything shorter than that, it's just not enough time. And I speak to natural athletes on this channel, as I am a natural athlete. All bets are off pretty much. If you do performing enhancing drugs, no judgment. here if you do, but it's just like the rules of the game change drastically.
That was a lot.
Round of applause for Brian.
Thank you.
As a natural athlete, especially as your training experience increases, just your overall human age increases, muscle gain becomes slower, especially with your training age. Beginners, you can gain muscle pretty quickly, very quickly. But, in a 6-month period, if you're doing everything right, as someone with 2 to 5 years training experience and plus, if you gain 3 to 5 pounds of muscle, that's freaking actually unreal. Like if you can gain 2 to 3 pounds of muscle, that's unreal. And, really sit with that and internalize it, because, especially with bodybuilders, people who really like to see results, we have a likelihood, and all humans are this way, to judge ourselves, be like, maybe I'm not working hard enough, something's wrong with me. No, like you have a human body, and that's just the card you're dealt. Like you literally killing yourself every session, going to bed on time, being literally perfect, alienating all of your friends and family, just existing to have an optimal body composition, you're still not going to gain muscle that quickly. Okay. So just understand, like, it's not necessarily a you problem. It's just like a human meat suit issue. So I guess what I'm alluding to here would be patience. I'd like to see patience from people. This goes for myself too. Don't get me wrong.
One more.
Dude, is it true that if you grunt, it's definitely true. It's 100% true. If you grunt scientifically, you engage more muscle fibers, more oxygen shuttles into the muscle, and you'll actually grow by upwards of 50% more year over year if you grunt. This is totally legitimate. So that's also, guys, a staple of our new comtrophy program, not to be confused with hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is so to 2020, 2021. I can't even talk right now. Comtrophy, link in bio.
Now, hey now. This is where dreams.
RIP to Smash Mouth. Remember Smash Mouth?
What about it?
One hit wonder?
Oh, shit. Yeah, RIP.
Poor guys.
Poorest.
I'm sorry, I did say keep the pace, but it's actually quite a profound thing to consider. Like, the idea of being a one-hit wonder. It's like, your song was actually it was too good, okay? Like, we wanted a really good, but you made such a phenomenal song that you've used all your goodwill points with the world and society, so henceforth you will create nothing popular.
Exactly what it is. Your follow-up song has to either top it, or people are like,
if you're a one-hit wonder, honestly, the play is literally like, if it's a band just coming together and being like, guys, we're gonna hit a pause for 5 years, we'll just come back. Like,
that's what I would do. Yeah, one-hit wonder. Then be like, I'm working on a song for a couple of years. Like, hype it up like crazy again. Like, damn, we made that song, he's about to make another crazy.
Yeah, you just can't continue as normal.
So patience throughout your phase, knowing that at least you're going to need about 6 months, ideally longer, a year to 2 years. This is also why it's wise for natural bodybuilders not to compete super frequently. I'd say every other year is ideal. For me, it's every 2 to 3 years. I haven't competed since summer of 2019. So this coming summer, which I will compete, will mark the 3-year point. It's just not wise because you don't have enough time to put on muscle mass. You're going to diet down and you're basically going to look the same, and it's going to be like you didn't have enough time. Perhaps you weren't intentional enough with your time to put on mass and, in the right places, whatnot. Perhaps you had to bring up a specific body part. But if you don't have enough time, you're literally going to look the same and be like, dude, like, you competed year over year, you've competed every year, and unless you're like a super ridiculous genetic specimen, elite of the elite, you're not going to see significantly noticeable change year over year as a natural athlete if you diet down. Again, a lot of context here just to kind of paint a picture. That said, it can be many things. It can be at the end of the day, there's a rule that's based in physics of calories in, calories out, the law of thermodynamics. I see all these things touted around the internet of like, oh, it's not calories in, calories out. It's actually hormones. Like, no, get a bigger brain, please.
Next time, choose a weight that'll actually like.
That's not the comfy way. All right, so because I'm serious about this program, hypertrophy is dead. So 2021, calmtrophy. We all need a little bit of calm. We've been a little hyper, a little agitated. All right, calmtrophy. Link in bio. Open the description. Click the first link. You know, $9.97 as expected, but it's worth it. Like, do you want to be calm?
$9.97.
It is calories that need to be reduced. If you're going to lose fat, it's calories that need to be taken in more than your body wants, which would be caloric maintenance, stay the same weight. If you're going to actually build, add tissue, whether it's fat or it's lean muscle tissue. That's the number one thing. So it seems as though, like you said, that you're gaining, it's just from fat. So it could be, Giuseppe, that you're trying to gain too fast. That's the first thing that jumps out at me. Here we are. How long have I been recording? For 7 minutes, and like I finally get to the answer. If you're gaining, and it may not actually be the case that you're gaining mostly fat. What data are you basing this statement on? Is it just mirror? Because in a building phase, you're taking in ideally more calories than your body wants. You have to. So you're taking in more carbs. Carbs, you know, fill out the muscle. They saturate it with glycogen, which is great from a performance perspective. It's our body's favorite preferred source of energy. You're also probably going, well, as a natural athlete, you can't just gain pure muscle. You're going to gain fat. In a building phase, is just a thing that's going to happen.
Ooh.
I take offense to that.
What?
Nothing motivates Brian quite like angles. You're there, I'm sitting here thinking like, Ed, oh, he must have a good angle. I'm literally fucking jizzing myself. Is that what you think? Exactly. And I pride myself on this. I pride myself on, I would train just as fucking hard if I never posted another piece of content in my fucking life.
Yeah.
And the moment I can't say that's true, I will literally never post content
Stop.
again. Period, the end. So, I take deep offense to that.
And because that's the case, like the visual results in the mirror aren't as exciting as being on a dieting phase. They're actually much more depressing because you are getting rid of like the clean lines and, you know, perhaps if you could see your abs a little bit or, you know, striations in your shoulders, wherever it may be, like those will just start to fade away as you start to increase your body fat percentage, which you're going to have to do to a certain degree when you're in a building phase. You're really pushing in the gym. You want to give your body every reason, you know, put it in the perfect climate atmosphere to gain. So you're giving it all the calories. Like a side effect of that is you're going to look a little fluffier. You're not going to look as defined in the mirror. There's this, you know, bodybuilding is a game of illusions. I want you guys to really always remember this. Even if you're not a bodybuilder, the body itself, you know, it's a game of illusions in the sense that you will look much bigger at a sometimes significantly lower weight. Why? Because you can see the muscles with way more definition. You know, the muscle insertion of your shoulders and your biceps, triceps completely when you have a low body fat percentage. I know this is the case for me. It's basically the case for everybody. Me at 210 pounds versus me at 180 pounds, 30 pounds less. Like the amount of, you know, feedback I'll get via social media and whatnot of like, dude, what have you been doing? You've like gained a ton of muscle. Holy crap. Like what are you doing? It's like, well, I'm actually like way significantly less. I'm actually much weaker, much less powerful. I actually feel like shit right now, but I fooled you because I literally just stripped the fat away to show you the muscle that I've always had. I've just removed the layer of fat. I don't even know how I got down this goddamn rabbit hole, but like, I was talking about the calories in, calories out equation, which we always come back to basically, and every question seems to come back to that in a way, because it's just the truth. People love to say bodybuilders like to focus too much on calories, but it's like maybe it's because we're smart. I don't know. I'm feeling a little snippy today. You guys got to forgive me. it's not just as simple as calories in, calories out, but people would try to say it's not that. It's just like, please take a long walk or a short bridge, please. God dang it.
You want to know what is quite mysterious to me, and I'm sure someone can sound off and explain why, is like the varying of the way weights feel as you change to different cable-based machines. Like, and not even cable-based machines, but just like any other machine. For example, No Limit with the leg press. I can literally have like 13, 14 plates on each side.
I don't.
Whereas other
I don't know
gyms-
if it's. I don't get if it's the weights or if it's the grease. Is it really the grease that much?
I know with some machines, if it's a track, it's like greasing the track. But then
Yeah.
with cables, it's like, I know it's definitely based on leverages, someone who knows engineering.
Right.
But it's like, how heavy this 50 pounds feels on this is like if
Yeah.
this was zoo,
You could do
we'd have
100
the whole
pounds.
stack on.
Like 150
I couldn't
pounds.
I couldn't move 1 inch the whole stack. Well, what matters is tension. That's the moral of the story, I guess, to continue. Doesn't matter what the weight stack says. Matters what it feels.
Nice.
Comfy.
Because of the wide angle, I actually get like my hand, like full hand, and
Ah,
the 50, you barely get like
No.
a little blur.
85, you just get a big blob of nothing.
You might be gaining too fast, is what I'm trying to allude to here. So I'm assuming that you're sleeping enough. You're getting your 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Some people need 9 hours of sleep. That also means someone actually commented this in the last video, and it's good. You need to be in bed for an hour longer, usually, than the amount of sleep that you would like to get. If you would like to get 8 hours of sleep, you need to be in bed for 9 hours, etc. You're hitting your training sessions with intensity. You're really crushing it. In a building phase, people think it's the time you can probably coast, and then people get in this like super like crazy zone when they're dieting, and a byproduct of that is they start training super hard, which is kind of funny because, you know, many people do this. I've fallen into this trap, but like you're super motivated. You're starting to see changes in the mirror. You're starting to get, you know, positive feedback from society or whatever. You're pushing it harder. Well, it's like you have to train hard when you're dieting, but you're also like just trying to not lose muscle, especially as a natural athlete. It's like what's most important is when you can capitalize on muscle gain the most in a building phase, you're actually killing it in the gym because you can take in the calories. You don't have to be super anal about like, oh, I can't go over my carbs too much. Like you don't have to do any to a certain extent, especially if you have a higher likelihood of like putting on body fat. You look at bread and you gain weight. Some people are that way, unfortunately, but like for most, you won't have to be super meticulous about your macros in a building phase, unless of course you find it hard to get calories in and you're simply not gaining weight. In that case, I would track and pay attention to it for the sole reason of making sure you're taking in enough calories. That could be the case for some. Giuseppe, it's first thing, do you know that you're actually gaining more fat than muscle? You know, muscle is much harder to gain than fat to begin with. I think we all can kind of understand that, right? So, you know, even on you refer to clean bulking, this would be, like I said, building slowly instead of gaining quickly. Actually, I don't think I really harped on that clearly enough. Giuseppe's referring to here, what I imagine is, well, actually kind of did. Gaining slowly so you reduce fat gain as much as possible. You got to be patient and also understand like you're going to gain fat to begin with. So, and you're going to be looking perhaps a bit more fluffy in general as your body fat percentage increases, which it just will. So again, you know, I've highlighted on all these prior items, so I just kind of rambled there for a second, but like I would say patience is a virtue at the end of the day. If you can say you're firing on all cylinders with, you know, you said protein as well. I did kind of want to touch on that. Don't take in like too much protein. You said high protein. I think anyone who does resistance training, like the evidence is irrefutable. Everyone should be on a high protein diet, which, you know, I'm not sure what the standards are in America for protein. Honestly, I haven't looked them up, but I guarantee it's probably lower than it needs to be. If you're resistance training, a gram per pound of body weight is the estimate. There's another estimate of 0.7 to or I'm sorry, 1.1 to 1.3 grams of protein per pound of lean body mass. The lean body mass is just the amount of muscle weight that you have on your body. So that's probably a bit more accurate. It factors into play what your body fat percentage is, but for simplicity's sake, about gram per pound of body weight of protein, and then monitor to be sure you're gaining about half of a pound to 2 pounds a week. Again, half pound to 2 pounds per week. And if you've got the diet on lock, you're training hard, you're sleeping enough, you're hydrating, you're not crazy like you're in, grad school or in med school and like under some insane stress for some reason, or even if you are, you have like a reliable way to like mitigate stress. Like you're fine, and the answer is patience.
Guys, follow my TikTok for the latest hypertrophy. The most unique exercises that you definitely have never seen that is honestly will just change your life. Hypertrophy. TikTok.
Yes.
I'm fucking 17 years old and teaching you how to get in shape.
Because the reality is here, guys, if you're doing all of those things, if you are training hard, you're sticking to your training program, wherever you're training 4 days a week, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, you're taking your sets close to failure. You are, you're eating in a way that makes sense. You are recovering. You're sleeping. You're de-stressing. Like, you're just not going to, you've selected a calorie intake that makes sense for you. Let's say your average, your caloric maintenance is 3,000 calories. That's pretty high for someone, but you take in 300 to 500 calories more than that. That's the recommendation for men. Women, 200 to 300 calories more. So you're taking in 3,400 calories, 400 calories above your maintenance. Like, that is a sound decision in terms of caloric intake on a clean bulk. If you're doing that, you're just not going to gain a lot of fat, period. That's the conclusion there. You're just not going to gain a lot of fat. You won't be giving your body enough energy to gain that much fat. Your body's going to be demanded. You're by resistance training, you're demanding your body to repair muscle tissue that has been damaged. That requires calories. That requires energy. I hope you guys found this helpful. Don't be super offended if you're one of these hormone freak people. Hormones come into play, especially for women. I'm not a doctor. I don't have education on this. I have consumed a lot of content on it because I like to be in the know. But, if you go to a starving area of Africa or to North Korea, people aren't dying of starvation because of their hormone levels. They're dying because they don't have enough calories. So if that idea doesn't put the calories versus hormones debate to bed, I don't know what would. Maybe you can test it out and let us know. That's a joke, obviously. All right, much love, guys. My name is Brian DeCosta, head trainer, shreddedforlife.com, here to get you shredded, keep you shredded always. It's not about just a select period of time. And also, shredded, a bodybuilder's definition of shredded, just to go down a little rabbit hole, is quite extreme. I'm not speaking extreme shredded at all time, okay? Because that is unhealthy. That's not good for you. But I'm talking like a nice little shreddy shred. Take off the shirt and it's like, whoa, how you doing? That type of shredded. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.